Banditos, we are live. Welcome in. Wednesday, September 6th, almost 5 p.m., streaming from the Pacific Northwest. Today, we are covering the PTS patch notes for the new upcoming season. And this will be title update 19. Are they going to be good, bad, or ugly? Let's find out together.
Fear not, for you are found. You are home, and there is no going back. No one leaves this place. But what is this place? The answer is Tux Nation. Surrounded by a strong, positive community, Tux Nation lives on the edge of the known and unknown. It is the collection point for all gamers searching to be part of something greater, like you. And here you are significant. You are valuable. Here you are loved. And no one loves you more than the TuxedoBandido. He is the original, the first player one, the creator of the Players Club and the father of the Bandidos. Where once you were Han Solo, now you are part of something. You are part of the Bandidos. Congratulations. You will meet the TuxedoBandido in 5 seconds. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. You are now meeting the TuxedoBandido.
All right, Banditos, welcome in. Yeah, it's sort of a big day because we're getting some news. Yeah, so the PTS is going to preload here in the next couple of days, and then it's going to run. It's going to be a short one, and we're going to cover all the details about that. So, but just to give you a quick heads up, I haven't given these a full thorough once over yet. I just kind of skimmed them. So it's sort of going to be new for me too, but I will tell you, I am liking what I'm seeing so far. I have some good first impressions. So let's check this out. Let me get these notes up for you here. So hopefully you can see these all fine. And let's pull through this. Let me put this over here so I can see better myself. All right. So PTS patch notes. So this is going to be for season 2. And then the start date for the PTS is September 8th. So that's in 2 days. And so the preload will be for tomorrow. And this PTS is only for PC. So it's sort of a small community here that's going to be able to test. And then Monday, September 11th will be the end date, 9/11. And so it's only going to be a few days. And the reason why is because they're not going to be testing the incursion. So really, it's a short PTS because I think they're only going to need feedback on the gear. And so sort of good news and bad news, I guess, because, you know, it's nice to get the incursions in early. But from my past experience, you know, like with Countdown and Summit and basically everything, the feedback never gets processed in the next update anyways, unless there's something game breaking. And hopefully they have the quality assurance personnel to at least check for that. But we'll see. So not a big deal. And so that kind of keeps it all a nice little surprise so we don't get the spoils. So good news there. Okay, so it starts off with some Descent buffs. And so I scanned through this and I was thinking about it and I like it. So Descent is the new game mode, right? So they buffed the Descent rewards across all loops for level 40 players, which is cool. They don't give us any detail here, but they buffed it. So we'll see what that means. But what I'd really like here is increase the chance to, so listen, they got our feedback and they're processing it. That's nice. Maybe that's first of many updates. Maybe this is the final update. I don't know. But let's see how the community receives it. But on the surface, it's looking pretty darn good. Okay, so buff the Descent rewards across all loops for level 40 players. So we don't know what that means exactly. Increase the chance to receive reconstructed and exotic caches from defeating the Nemesis from 12% to 50%. That's amazing because those reconstructed caches are highly valuable. They're really valuable to creating really cool builds because you can get versions of things. We're talking like Emperor's Guard knee pads, death grips, punch drunks, whatever. Anything that's a named item, whether it's a dark zone item or not, you'll be able to craft it and get possible different versions of that item without waiting for it to drop from a named item cache. So either way, it's RNG and you're rolling dice, but much more convenient. And I'm not quite sure what they mean by increased chance for exotic cache, because I'm pretty sure that's a guaranteed. right? I don't know. We'll see. You know, check this out, guys. There are so many details that are left out in the patch notes. This is my reputation. This is not my opinion. All right, so there's so much more going on here. They just highlighted the 3 bullet points, and sometimes I feel like it's random. You know what I mean? So, because it's like in the past, there's always these other updates that sneak in there, and you're like, wow, new discovery. We're like discovering it as we go. So they don't always make the patch notes. So there's other things going on here. We don't know, but we can't speculate either. So let's just take it for face value at the moment. But I believe there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. So they added new talents, which is also good because that's part of the feedback that we sent in too. Now, some of this is okay, you know, and some of it is great. So, but either way, I'm gonna look at the utility here. So we get a future it's cool that they're adding this to the utility, by the way, okay? And that's because when you're trying to buff your character in Descent, you don't want too many options. Because if you're looking for something like more RPM boosts, like rapid fire or something like that, right? Then you don't want to have RNG throwing so many different options at you, and it takes forever to buff and get the full 10 buff on that whatever particular item, the 10 stacks on that talent. This might not make sense to you if you haven't played Descent, but either way, the less options that RNG has, the greater chance of you getting what you're looking for. Okay, so we don't want to stack those important sections. So utility, they added a bunch more to utility, and I think that's okay. That's okay. We had a lot going on in utility, but what I like to see here is that they added some more basically offense in utility. So salvage is a reload thing that's kind of considered an offense. In sync, future perfect can both be considered offense. Shock and awe, it's a mix there. So really cool. Ignited as well as an offense, right? That's 25% more damage, or 20%. It's probably non-perfect. So and just so you know, the definitions in the Descent game mode aren't exactly the same as the definitions we experience in the regular game mode. Okay, so all these definitions are subject to alteration from what you know them as. On the offensive side, we get Intimidate, Rifleman, Overwhelm, and Pummel. Pretty cool there. I really like Pummel. That's a big deal to be able to stack Pummel on top of Opportunistic, and which is a utility one. So that's really interesting. Intimidate's also nice. So another very good offensive option if you're running something that's giving you lots of bonus armor. So these are cool. I like those, and I'm glad they didn't give us too much. I'm not sure how I feel about Overwhelm. I can't exactly remember what Overwhelm does because I don't use it a lot. Then we got Empathetic Resolve and Kinetic Momentum in the exotic area. And so that means it's going to be different. I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? But Kinetic Momentum is typically 15% skill damage, 30% skill repair. So I don't know what that's going to mean in the exotic section. And Empathetic Resolve, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what is Empathetic Resolve? When you use an armor kit, you get overcharge. Isn't that what Empathetic Resolve? No, Empathetic Resolve is the healing, isn't it? It's the healing one. Yeah, it's the healing one. Usually it's something a medic runs. So I don't know what that means. When you're at full armor, I don't know what that one's gonna be. It's an exotic. Overwhelm is a suppression damage bonus. Yeah, that one kind of sucks. It sucks in the game. I have a hard time getting it to work. That's the one that's on the LMG, isn't it? Anyways, defensive is efficient, and that is armor kits. So there's a chance of not using armor kits. So I don't know if I would choose that one. Unfortunately, I think we need more in the blue category here.
Gotta be handy with the steel.
I think we need more things in the blue category. That's what I would like to see. It's nice having more exotic options. I'm not sure I like what they gave us.
Can't be any geek off the street.
But
gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the number one thing that I said is that we need more defensive options. That was a big thing for me. So I'm sad that we're not getting them. Stoner, thank you. That was a name. Yeah, the Stoner talent.
Gotta
Thanks,
be handy
honey.
with the steel,
honey.
if you know what I mean.
Honey tankin'. So yeah, you know. Anyways, this isn't a perfect thing, but it's an improvement right
Can't
here.
be any geek
So
off
some of these
the
we're gonna
street.
love, and
Gotta
some
be
of them
handy
not.
with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so moving on. That's all we see on Descent. So, but you know, like I said before, there's probably gonna be other things. New gear.
You can't
This
be
is
any
what
geek
gets
off the
Tux
street.
excited.
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
And so I see a lot of potential with the new gear. Now, again, I've only given this a once over. So, you know, and for
can't
me,
be any
it's like I'm
geek
gonna have
off
to get
the
my
street.
hands on it and
Gotta
play
be
with it.
handy
And we'll
with
do
the
some
steel,
build
if you know
labs
what
on
I
this
mean.
stuff eventually. But check this out. Langmo is the new brand set, right? So the brand set is the like the high-end
can't
stuff
be
that
any
you get.
geek
There's
off the
3
street.
slots,
Gotta be
usually
handy with the steel, if you
2
know what I mean.
spaces for attributes, right? So, and not gear sets, right? So gear sets are the green stuff. So the brand sets,
can't be any
it's gonna
geek
usually
off
have
the
the
street.
3
Gotta be
brand
handy with the
attributes,
steel, if you know
and
what I mean.
the first one is explosive resistance, and the second one is skill health, and the third one is
Can't be
LMG
any
damage.
geek off the street.
Now,
Gotta be handy with the steel, if
There's
you know
always
what I
a
mean.
theme. There's always an underlying theme to when the devs produce things. There's synergies across everything that they're dropping, or at least they try to,
Can't be
right?
any geek off
So
the
we get
street.
Countdown.
Gotta be handy with the
we
steel,
got,
if you know
we
what I
got Countdown. We got Heartbreaker. Then we got the named and exotic LMG that went with
can't be any geek
Heartbreaker. So
off
all
the
these
street.
things kind of
Gotta be handy
coincide
with
with
the
each
steel,
other.
if you know
Okay,
what I
so
mean.
that at least they try. So we got 20% explosive resistance when you run 1 piece. 2 pieces give you 10% skill health, and 3 pieces equipped give 15% LMG damage. So my first thoughts on that is it's kind of a random mixed bag. I know why they're doing it. Okay, so the explosive resistance, I'm not so sure, but why they're doing it. But I think it's because you can be holding your ground. That's what they're thinking here. And when you hold your ground on legendary, you're just gonna get bombarded. And that's because this is really gonna be set up for an LMG, and you'll see why in a minute, okay? But the skill health is for the flame turret. So they're trying to drive some energy into the flame turret, all right? So that's kind of cool. I mean, the truth is that I'm not a big fan of skill health. 10% isn't a game changer. I'd rather have skill efficiency, and I think that's what that should be. I think that's a waste. This is the deal. When it comes to brand sets, and devs, I hope you're listening to this right now, or watch this on the replay. Listen, when it comes to brand sets, they need to be more enticing the deeper you get. The more of the brand you run, then the more exciting it should get. And I'll tell you, it's seems to always be the opposite here. So in a lot of cases, it always seems to be the opposite. So I think the first and the third thing need to be the most exciting. And maybe the second thing. I don't know, they all need to be exciting. I'm thinking about the Ninja Bike backpack too, right? So, but in many cases, we run 1 piece of a brand set. That's like very common, right? 1 piece Cheska, 1 piece Grupo, 1 piece Providence, 1 piece whatever. So Fenris. And so we want that first one to be really, really good. And I actually like it as explosive resistance. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's amazing. And we're gonna talk about that more. But the second piece giving us skill health and the third piece giving us LMG damage, no. I mean, who's gonna run 3 pieces for 15% LMG damage? Not I. And I'm not gonna run an LMG with explosive resistance. It'd be rare. You know, just like it's just a real. And then the skill health, it's just like, if I'm gonna run skill health, usually I'll tell you, it's for. And there's other reasons why you could run skill health, but they're sort of off the wall. And so the main reason is gonna be for your turret and your drone, and the other one is your shield. So those are the 3 things: turret, drone, and shield. And turret and drones pull so much aggro that health is a big deal for those. You know, so it's a bummer to see this get skill health in there. I think if it was skill efficiency, it'd be more enticing. Okay, but it's still not the worst thing. At the very least, they need to get rid of LMG damage. Okay, now the reason why I think skill health isn't horrible is because explosive resistance skill builds, I've created a few of them for legendary content, are actually freaking amazing. And I know a lot of you are running them. I think Sick Jim, don't you run one, Sick Jim? Sick, I think when you joined in on me, it might have been you, might have been somebody else, but when you joined in on me, I think you were running one of those explosive resistance skill builds. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, those builds are amazing for legendary. I mean, it's just like you can take, you basically heal through the explosions, and then you don't take any damage. You got a lot of resistance against explosions if you're almost immune to them. So that's actually that first two. I don't mind that. It's a complement to R and K, and R and K is really good. So R and K gives you incoming repair and explosive resistance. And so this pushes explosive resistance to the top. So if you run 2 pieces of R and K and 1 piece of Langmo, you got yourself, what is it? Is that 30 or 40% explosive resistance? I can't remember what R and K is, but that's great, right? That's a good start. That's a good start. And because you're running that with a skill build, because skill builds handle explosive resistance the best because they're easy to power up, and snipers. So then that is going to go to your skills, which are going to be your turret and your drone. So, so that I can make that work. We can make some pretty cool builds with that. However, I would rather have something else in skill health. And it could also be good for tank builds. Okay. So if you're running a bulwark tank build, explosive resistance is going to be good because that's your biggest threat in legendary. And your shield could use more skill health. Right? It's a skill. The shield is a skill. Now that's a linear additive skill health. Most likely, we don't know for sure, but that's most likely the same skill health that comes on the R and K holster, the Forge, which is sort of crap. The Motherly Gloves also have that skill health. Sort of crap too there. So you know what I mean? Would you rather have skill efficiency or the Bulwark? Healing capabilities. So, it's something though. It's something. So, anyways, the LMG damage at the tail end, it's just like, really? I'm not going to run the third piece for 15% additive damage. I mean, what kind of build is that? What kind of build is that? All right, 3 of your pieces are dedicated to nothing, and you come out with 15%, you know what I mean? Explosive, you would be really weak to run that because you can't run. If you're gonna run an LMG, you might be looking at Striker and Heartbreaker. There's 4 pieces, so you're not even gonna get to your LMG damage here with a Striker build or with a Heartbreaker build. And a Heartbreaker build is an LMG setup. So getting to that LMG damage is gonna create a cluster of a build. Anyways, so Langmo is gonna come with a named chest and backpack like we normally receive in past seasons. This is a pattern. So let's look at the named chest piece Carpenter, and they're giving us a perfect of a talent that we already have, and that talent's called Mad Bomber. So perfectly Mad Bomber. Grenade radius is increased by 75%. Grenades that kill an enemy are refunded. Grenades can now be cooked by holding the fire button, making them explode earlier. Allows to gain 15% bonus armor while aiming when throwing out a grenade. So a little bonus armor is nice. So the grenade radius is the big buff. I believe it went from 50 to 75, but I don't have the perfect talent memorized. So either way, that's a nice increase right there at 75%. And the cook has always been there. I think the bonus armor has always been there. And the grenades that kill an enemy are refunded has always been there. I gotta say though, hasn't been really when you run this, it's really for the grenade radius, okay? Because the other 3 things, they are pretty rare. It's rare to kill an enemy with a grenade. They usually have to almost be dead, so it's not something you can count on. And plus, you miss a lot with your grenades. So, I want you to when we talk about grenades today, because we're gonna be talking them a lot, okay? I want you to close your eyes and envision the incendiary grenade, the fire grenade, okay? Because all of this, what you haven't seen yet, is related to fire. Remember when I said that the devs release things on theme, in a theme, right? Everything in this season is going to be fire related. And so I think they're thinking about fire. I know Langmo they are, and Langmo they're thinking about fire, and you'll see why in a minute. And this chest piece, they're thinking if you run this chest piece, you can also throw fire grenades, okay? So this is all about fire. All right, so named backpack is gonna be called Backbone. perfectly unstoppable force, which is interesting here. This one's a little, I mean, it complements LMGs a little bit. I have used it with the Pestilence, actually. And the Pestilence makes it a little easier to maintain that. But killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 5% for 15 seconds instead of 10, I believe. And stacks up to 7 instead of 5. That's a good backpack right there. Too bad it starts with explosive resistance. But if you're a sniper, that's great. Because what sniper build doesn't go good with the Sawyer's knee pads for legendary, right? And even for not legendary. And so the sniper, those knee pads give you some explosive resistance as well as can't be staggered. So one piece of Langmo for 20% explosive resistance, and then using the name backpack would be some really good damage, stronger than vigilance. It's the same type of damage as vigilance, except you have to earn it, and this will surpass it, vigilance, and it can't be taken away from you only by time. So, you know, it's always been an option, and it's actually been pretty good with snipers. I just tend to not need damage on my backpack, but some people love running overkill. So, you know, there you go, some more overkill. And then they added this grenade kills adds 2 stacks, so they gave it some random thing there. So, okay. You're random. Ortiz is the gear set. So we're moving on to gear sets now. So this is a crazy gear set. And I think I like it crazy. We'll talk about it. There's some good things and some bad things. So 2 pieces equipped. This is the same pattern as all gear sets. So 2, 3, and 4 pieces. Okay, so Ortiz, Exuro gear set. 2 pieces equipped give 20% burn duration plus 15% skill health. A lot of skill health here, right? So there's 15% skill health, and in the gears, the brand set's giving us 10%. So I guess they're anticipating this skill to take a lot of heat. Pun not intended. So 3 pieces equipped gives 40% burn damage. So damage and duration. That's a great combination. That's a great combination. So burn damage and then duration is going to increase the damage over time combination there. So 4 pieces equipped unlock a new unique turret talent. Okay, so this is the part that's good and bad. So good and bad. Okay, the incinerate. So it's going to take your turret, the existing turret, and it's going to turn it into a turret prototype. So the incinerator turret spins 360 degrees. That's cool. So right now, it's like you have to set a direction, and then it does this. I'm not sure what the angle is. Maybe it's like a 45 degree, something like that. So this is going to allow it to spin all the way. That's really cool, guys. You see that? How cool that is? So the reason why that's cool is because the devs just broke into a new way of developing gear sets. They have just created a hybrid gear set that changes the way an existing skill actually functions. It actually functions just by running this. So it takes a turret that normally spins this way and makes it spin 360. It unlocks a capability for a skill. That's really unique. I can't think of anything else that's like that. Can you guys? I can't think of anything that's like that. I mean, Eclipse doesn't do it. Foundry doesn't do it. Yeah, nothing really does that. So this actually changes the functionality of a skill. That's pretty cool. I like the concept here, and I hope to see more of that concept going forward. Okay, you are immune to your own incinerator's turret fire. Because I know you were thinking that, right? But like, holy shit, I'm gonna catch myself on fire. Not anymore. You'll be able to stand in the middle of this 360 degree turning fire damage. I'm hoping to be able to do that. We'll see, right? The incinerator turret explodes when disabled. So I hope you can't blow yourself up. It's probably gonna be like special delivery, whatever it's called, where you can throw your thing and it explodes. It hurts the enemies, but doesn't hurt yourself. So that's cool too, though. So you can use it like a bomb, right? Cool. And so I wonder if you can still turn the fire on and off, you know? I don't know. So the only thing that's weird here is the skill health. I don't know why they're doing this. And because they're anticipating the fire skill to be shot at a lot. The incinerator turret, and I'll have to look at the skill itself, but I wonder, maybe it doesn't have a lot of skill health to begin with, but if it's like our other turrets, they do pretty good, even in legendary. So one of the reasons why I think they're doing this is, let me tell you why. It doesn't say if we're getting skill tiers or anything with this gear set. Okay, so it could be a red gear set, or a blue gear set. Which means if you're not running skill tiers, then that thing is going to have low skill health. So they're building that in there. That's my guess. Okay, they don't tell us anything about that yet. Maybe they do later in the script, but I don't see that. So that would be good news, because one of the questions that you might have in your mind right now is, well, why wouldn't I just run Eclipse Protocol or Rigor or one of the other skill-based gear sets, or a build that you create from scratch, right? And my guess is because this is going to be either a damage build set, a weapon damage-based gear set, or a armor-based, I don't know. If it is a skill-based, then, you know, it's just going to be a really strong one that's limited to burn. You understand? So we'll see. We'll see. And I'm not sure any of those are bad. I don't want to see this as a tank one. So I would want to see red cores or yellow cores here. So, okay, that's the good. The bad side is that this gear set is only going to be good if you're running the turret. Right? You guys see that, right? I mean, you're not going to run 4 pieces unless you're running the turret. So, because everything here is about the turret. There's not one thing that's not about the turret. Turret spin, you're immune to your own turret's fire, and turret explode. So there's no other reason to run 4 pieces unless you're running your turret. So, you know what I mean? I don't like things that locked in. Like the Shocker Punch knee pads. Or holster, sorry. The Shocker Punch holster is like this. It's like, it only works if you run a shield, right? Same concept. And it only works if you run the St. Elmo's. It's not that it's bad, it's just locked in. And it's just like, what if I don't want to use that exotic? What if I want more build diversity than that? What, you know what I mean? And the other thing is that the reason why this is a really serious impact to the game is because we have space issues. So if we were going to try to use this build for just one build, or use this gear set for just one build, then we're going to lose something else that's important to us that might be providing more build diversity. It has more diversity in use and application. So it's, you know, I don't know. So devs need some feedback here, but this is so dedicated to burn. I'm not sure what they would do. What I would probably ask them to do, or hope that they would do, is buff the first this third one, so that it's offering something else instead of an exploding turret. So that way, something enticing, that way, like maybe you would be able to run this with a 4-piece with what do you call it, the sticky bomb or the chem launcher. But you can still run 2 and 3 pieces with another skill build and use your chems, right? So if you're gonna run 4 pieces of Eclipse, a 2-piece of Ortiz might complement that 4-piece Eclipse, right? You can get 20% burn duration, and in 3 pieces. So you know, maybe if you run the Ninja Bike backpack and run 3 pieces of what do you call it, Eclipse, and then 2 pieces of Ortiz, that could be interesting. Now you're getting 20% burn duration, 40% burn damage, and then everything with Eclipse, all the Eclipse spread and stuff like that. The only thing is that you also have the opportunity to run the Eclipse backpack. That's going to give you more amplified damage to anybody that's applied with the status effect. So that would be more than the burn damage. So but the burn duration would transfer over to other enemies. So there's some pros and cons there because of Eclipse Protocol's talent. Okay, looking at the chest and backpack talents. Chest and backpack. So the chest bonus is called Chain Combustion. Enemies set ablaze by the Ortiz incinerator turret prototype ignite other enemies within 2 meters. So it's like a what is that called? Is it it's not Wicked. Oh, I always forget the name of this one. What's the name of the talent on our backpack that spreads? I'm waiting for you guys to tell me. I'm looking at the comments. So what's the talent that spreads status effects? It's shoot, I'm totally blank. Drawing a blank on that. Anyways, so it's also like Creeping Death. Thank you, Jim. Creeping Death. You guys rock. There you are. There's a delay from when I'm talking and when you guys hear me, so appreciate you. Okay, yeah, so it's like a mini Creeping Death without running Creeping Death. That's cool because it's on your chest piece, right? Where Creeping Death could be on your backpack. So you can have both. I don't know if you'd want both, but maybe, because I think you might be able to allow a chain effect. Probably not. Because I think they both apply to that same enemy within 2 meters, and then you would lose your effect there. So you probably wouldn't want to run both. But you could skip out on the chest piece and put Creeping Death on your backpack and still get the same effect if you wanted to, right? With a wider impact, and then run something else on your chest like, you know, Glass Cannon or whatever. So Glass Cannon is gonna be amazing with this build, by the way, because the turret works with you being in cover. Okay, so backpack bonus is called Heat Stroke. So 25% weapon damage to enemies set on fire by the Ortiz incinerator turret prototype. 25% Ortiz incinerator turret prototype range. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a big deal, the range. And so I don't know if you've ever seen a tier 6 turret in the game, but it's crazy. A tier 6 turret is crazy. And so if you can put tier 6 turret plus 25% range, oh my gosh, the whole that's rotating 360 degrees and you're immune to that fire. Okay, if you can't visualize the application here, look at fire, whatever it's called. What is this talent called? I don't know what it's called. I guess they're calling it prototype, incinerated prototype. Look at the fire as a wall of protection. So look, your allies are already immune to your fire, right? It was only you that wasn't. It was only you that wasn't. So before you could catch yourself on fire, but your allies can run in and out of that fire because they can't be damaged by you or your skills. So if you put that fire turret right in the center of your crew at a waist high or a sandbag or something like that location and let it spin 360 degrees, what you have is a wall of fire around you. So it's a rush prevention, right? It's going to stop the rush unless it's a tank or some sort of robotic, right? So it's going to stop the rush from robotics. So think about that except for robotics. It's going to stop the rush from human NPCs. So think about that application in Legendary. What can break your barrier? Well, robotics, I just said that. And the other thing is explosives. Those are the only two things that can get to you inside your fire circle. Explosives and robotics. So you just need an answer for robotics. So maybe that other skill besides the incinerator could be an EMP, a pulse, something. So anyways, really interesting, really interesting. So I think there's some possibilities here. Now, again, pros and cons. The pros are it's pretty darn cool and it's got application. And there's a centralized theme here being around fire where last season was shock, right? And hazard protection, I guess. Thinking Cavalier sucked. Okay, collector exotic chess piece, right? So, oh, and the con, sorry, did I say the con? The con is it's a single application. So it brings more build diversity to the game because it's being added, but the gear set itself is limited in application. So, yeah. Okay, collector, exotic chest piece. So, remember, close your eyes and imagine the incendiary grenades, okay? That's what I want you to do, because grenades suck in this game, unless you're playing PvP. And yeah, I use the foam grenades sometimes, and I use regular grenades sometimes to pop enemies out of cover. But let's be real, guys. We're not gonna get unlimited grenades on our chest. We're not gonna want this exotic chest piece on our, instead of some sort of weapon damage talent so that we can use shitty grenades. Because every time I make that comment, somebody says, oh, it's just because you don't know how to use grenades. I'd be like, yeah, so you're gonna run, because you know how to, quote unquote, know how to use grenades, you're gonna waste a very important slot for this grenade, unlimited grenade thing? Are you that good with grenades? Nobody's that good with grenades, right? Anyways, my point is that, look, you can be a full-time status effect a fire dealer with this chest piece. Imagine that gear set, Ortiz, everything we talked about. 20% burn duration, 40% burn damage, all right? And now you have unlimited fire grenades. Holy crap. And you know what I would roll on the backpack? It's probably that, well, that's a chest piece. That's too bad, right? They need to put that on the backpack. That would be sick if you could get Mad Bomber in the backpack. Oh, please devs change that, because then we could run the exotic chest and Mad Bomber on our backpack. That's sick. This is actually pretty cool. I think this is good, man. I mean, even for a medic, any of your wingman builds, any of your team support builds, this is amazing. I wouldn't run this on my DPS build, but guess what just got a buff? Anybody? It's a named Police M4 that we stopped using. And the reason why is because the in-sync talent just started to make a lot more sense, right? But it's good amp damage. So yeah, and the sledgehammer, good call there. And the sledgehammer will be a great one for this. Yeah, good call. So anyways, this is really cool. You're gonna increase your grenade capacity. It's sort of like the Acosta's backpack that way. You're gonna get the big grenade radius. That's the same thing, sort of. It's as the Mad Bomber, which gives you 75%. This is 50. Plus 35% grenade damage, and then 25% grenade for, 25% plus 25% grenade for each extra enemy caught in the blast. I think that's damage, right? I think that's supposed to be damage. Automatically, we regenerate grenades every 60 seconds, guys. Oh, that's perfect, right? There's no refund here. No refund. It's just grenades coming back over time. So you get +3 capacity, which is, I think, pushes you to 10 on those fire grenades. And you're gonna get one back every 60 seconds. I don't get this. Up to 2 grenades. What does that mean? Automatically regenerate grenades every 60 seconds. Up to 2 grenades. What does that mean? I mean, why not? Why isn't it just 1 grenade every... Oh, I see. I see. I see. Okay. So it's going to try to fill your grenade bag. You see what I'm saying? So you can get 2 grenades anyway. So if you go to a legendary checkpoint, you use 2 grenades, you're gonna get 2. If you use 3, you're gonna get 2 out of the 3 you use. I get it, I get it. It's not just 1 every 60 seconds, it's 2. That's cool, I get it, okay. I was gonna say, why isn't it just 1 every 60 seconds? But I get it. So that's nice, that's cool. Again, it's a very specific application. You're most likely gonna be running, what do we call it? Survivalist, all right? But I think they're making some adjustments, again, all speculations in season 4, where the grenades are going to be open and selectable, and you can just choose whatever grenade you're going to want. But I don't know that. That is complete speculation. So this could open up a little bit more when they make all the gear changes that they're doing and specialization changes. So anyways, but either way, I am excited about this. I think that this will be really cool. There's already a synergy there, and this will make the Pyromaniac kind of come back to life a little bit. It's a good gun. And you should have ample fire here. And especially if you're good, this is good mostly for missions, or if you know your control points really well, where you are wherever the spawns are, and you can get there in advance and throw the grenade at the spawn door, right? Or the helicopter drop or whatever. And so it's a crowd control. Yeah, really exciting, really exciting. Okay, exotic weapons. So we're gonna get 3 exotics this season, like we're accustomed to, but they stopped doing it for 2 seasons in a row. So we're now gonna get 3 exotics again, like we were expecting. So this exotic weapon is called the Iron Lung. It's another exotic LMG. Boy, do we have a lot of those. Okay, so shooting heats the weapon up, filling the heat meter. The meter is equivalent to 50% of the weapon's standard magazine size. Okay, when the meter is full, rounds shot by the weapon will ignite enemies. Wow, right? Automatic boom. I don't know what to call that, but that's cool. So when not shooting, the meter constantly depletes. So you want a big mag, obviously. So that's why they thought of LMGs. Reloading or swapping to another weapon will deplete the meter, as you would expect. So really easy to earn. So this is gonna be a good LMG. It's gonna be a good exotic because it's point and shoot. You don't even have to hit an enemy, right? So it's point and shoot, and half of your mag is going to be... This is interesting, guys. Think about St. Elmo. Because St. Elmo is on hit, right? Isn't St. Elmo's on hit? I got it on me right now. I'm just gonna look real quick. Shooting an enemy, yeah. So you have to hit to get the stack. With this one, you don't. Just shooting heats up the weapon, right? So you can't do this in the testing range and then go out in the game because the meter will deplete, right? So just shooting half of your mag. I hope it's got 100 rounds, maybe 150, maybe 200. We'll see. We don't know what kind of LMG this is, but I hope it's a good one. Anyways, so shooting, I mean, I hope it's a strong one. I hope it's the gun of Rambo. You know what I mean? Because I think slower the better on this one. And that way you also get a good base damage too. But shot by the weapon will ignite enemies. When not shooting, the meter depletes. Now, the only thing that I don't like is that there's no like Pyromaniac type talent here. You know? Where you're not getting a damage, you're just catching them on fire. So, you know what I mean? And so this is good for Wicked. It's also good for Ongoing Directive. Ongoing Directive, Wicked. What else can I think of that's applying a status effect? Oh, Eclipse. Right? So Eclipse, if you're running that Eclipse backpack, for instance, you all of a sudden get 30% amp damage. So there's some application here. I just wish that it had all of a sudden you're on the second half of your mag, you're getting some sort of more damage because they're on fire. So it's missing that piece. It's just status effects. So here's the weird part, okay? So I don't know how this is gonna work. But look, we have weapons like this before, right? So the Scorpio applies the status effect. The St. Elmo's also applies the status effect. They both apply a shock. Let's just focus on that. What's the difference? Well, the shock from Scorpio is part of the talent. And St. Elmo's, the shock is not part of the talent. The talent has nothing to do with shock. The talent earns you shock ammo. And the shock comes with the ammo. Because the shock is on the ammo, status effects can change the duration of that shock. But if the shock was part of the talent, like Scorpio, status effects on your build will not increase the duration in which they are under that status effect. So we don't know how this is going to work yet, because the way it reads is pretty unique. It makes me think it's more like the Scorpio, in which you're not going to be able to increase the burn duration by running status effects on your build. However, it will work for things like the Vial Mask, which is cool. So you can have some damage over time ticks happening there. The downside is, what happens when you shoot an enemy with a fire bullet who's already on fire? It's a waste of a fire round, isn't it? And so that's the same issue that St. Elmo's has, why we kind of start to dismiss the shock after a while. So, and the difference between shock and fire, well, fire causes them to act chaotic and they actually run away, where shock holds them still and makes them easier to kill because they're standing still, even though they're kind of tweaking out a little bit. So yeah, you know, those are the downsides I see here, and I can see them from a mile away. And so I think we're gonna need some damage increase on this weapon, you know, because we're gonna use all of that ammo on a single enemy. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna pump 50% of our mag of fire rounds into 1 or 2 enemies. And so otherwise you can try to catch everybody on fire, and then you're gonna be reloading, which is gonna deplete the meter, and you have to start over, right? And so you want a high rate of accuracy because you don't wanna keep depleting your meter. So it's just, you know, we'll see how this works. It's really good. It's got a lot of potential, but it's gonna run into some of the same things that we struggled with in other weapons that have status effects. So for one, I hope they treat it like special ammo so that we can increase the duration of that fire with status effects. That opens up the build to a lot more, the weapon to a lot more builds. And the other thing is, I think reloading your own weapon should not start the heat meter over again. You know, I think reloading should maintain the meter, or they should put a timer on it, you know, like 5 seconds or something like that, whatever. So I don't know. So, but it's got potential. I like what I see here. Let's just hope it plays out nicely. All right, the new exotic SMG is called Ouroboros. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a weird word. Ouroboros. Anyways, talent, rule them all. So when the agent has a status effect applied to them, so when you're under status effect, 50% of the ammo in the next magazine will apply the same status effect to their targets. This effect will only occur during combat. Fine. This is exclusive to a new incursion. So you have to play the new incursion to get that. Not usually a problem, because it should be released with the new season. So I'm not sure how I read this. So is this saying when you have the status effect, you're basically returning the favor? So if an enemy catches you on fire, it gives you fire for half of your mag? Or is it saying that if you are running Hunter's Fury and you disorient the enemy, it all of a sudden fills your mag full of disorientation? Yeah, I don't know, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. So you could, yeah, you could definitely interpret this in 2 different ways. And so I'm just not sure. I'm thinking it's return to favor. Yeah, but that would, oh my God, you're right, Grumpy. Is that gonna be riot foam bullets? Holy shit, yes. But yeah, I'm thinking about this for a second. You know how cool this could be, guys? Because if that is the case, then you can stockpile it, like you can do with St. Elmo's. Okay, so you know, St. Elmo's is a really good primary weapon, right? Okay, we all agree on that. It's an even better secondary weapon. I know. But what you do is you use it, collect your shock ammo, and then stow it, whip out your other weapon, go around, kill everybody, right? Okay, and then the boss comes out, or a threat comes out, or a rusher, or whatever's scary to you. Then you switch to your St. Elmo's and just put 1 or 2 shock into them, or exhaust your mag. You know what I mean? So St. Elmo's is an amazing secondary weapon because you can store your shock ammo and use it when you need it. And that's different than the Scorpio. The Scorpio, you have no choice. It's like your third or whatever, sixth round or whatever it is. And so it's like, it's just like wham, wham, wham. Oh, there's the shock, right? But this is great because you can stow it, the St. Elmo, and then you whip it out, and in one bullet, that enemy's down, shocked. Or you can continue to burn him with the St. Elmo. Fine. We'll save it for the boss, right? Or save it for the end boss and legendary, whatever you want to do. And so that's a really cool thing. And so with Rule Them All, you can use your SMG until you get your status effect. Once you do, then you store it as a secondary weapon. And half of your mag, usually they're 50 round mags. I hope it's 50, maybe even bigger, I hope. And then you got 25 rounds of some sort of status effect, whether it's riot foam. I mean, imagine that. That's cool, man. That's cool. It could be a really cool weapon. Especially, guys. Yes, Nanu. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's where my mind started to go. What if you were 99% immune? 99% immune to all hazards, right? Holy shit. Because the hazard effect, like we talk about this a lot. Like, remember I just put out a video like a couple of weeks back where I said how to create tactical builds for the Division 2. And one of them is how to be fireproof, right? How to be fireproof. It's only like a week or two ago if you want to check that out. And so we're just going around slaughtering everybody and we're walking on fire. So, and then I show you that like, hey, you don't have to meet the immunity threshold, just go just below it. And you're basically immune. You're not technically immune, but it doesn't disrupt your gameplay. It's just like a blip on your screen. And so that would count as being applied to status effect. There's nothing here that says for duration, right? So with this one, you would want to fall under the threshold, just under the threshold of immune. And you're gonna run around and look to be status effect applied. And there's so many status effects in this game. It's insane. And that's why we talk about status effects a lot. And we've been talking about where the devs are in this game. And so one of the things that we've been talking about, and this is what's really interesting about this season and last season, is that we talked about like where they are with the maturity of this game. The enemies cannot be buffed anymore from the damage side because they're already so damn spongy. They soak in all of our bullets. And so the devs are at a place where we're at the pinnacle of power creep. You can't increase the damage coming out of the enemies, and you can't increase the damage coming out of the player base because we play in squads, and so they're gonna have to rebalance the NPCs if they increase our damage. We're already at that place. And so whereas you notice like playing solo seems to be really balanced, and then you start adding team members and it's just like, holy crap, right? A 75% increases in the damage HP from the enemy and what they can soak up. So the way the devs are looking to make the game more difficult is through hazards, right? And so that's what they did with Descent as an example. There's lots of hazards in there, but it's also a way for us to become more powerful indirectly by immobilizing the enemy, right? So taking away their capabilities, right? Holding them still, shocking them, whatever. So it's another way to make us powerful without giving us direct damage. Because the devs have to be careful. Otherwise, they're gonna have to rebalance NPCs again. And here we go in that stupid circle. So it's really interesting to see them doing this. It's sort of what I expect at this stage of our game, going into year 8. So, or actually not really. It's still year 5, but year 8 of the Division franchise. So anyways, yeah, so really cool. I'm excited about that. So named weapons and talents. So stabilized weapon talent. So we got steady hands. This reminds me of that. So the stabilized 1% weapon accuracy and 1% stability per bullet shot up to 60%.
Declining backup request.
It's kind of like the Eagle Bear. So stopping shooting will start a timer. of 2 seconds, after of which the bonus is reset. So 2 seconds, okay. So most reloads are about 2 seconds. We'll see what weapons it gives. So the Tommy SMG, oh, really? I mean, what were they thinking there? I mean, it does need weapon stability though. Granted, it does need that. But the good side is it does have a decent base weapon damage. The Tommy does. It's actually one of the higher ones. But it handles like, ugh. So this is good, I guess. And then you got a 4-second timer. So you get a bigger buff here in handling and then a 4-second timer. So, I mean, it's all right. Not my favorite gun. But here we go. Born Great, named military G36. A very good weapon. G36. A lot of people like this weapon. It's close to the P416 and the Police M4. It's right there in that category, as well as the what's the one that everybody always likes? It starts with the C. And I'm just I forget names so much around here. I'm sorry. Anyways, there's another assault rifle out there in the middle of the road that everybody likes. So that's where the military G36 hits. It's not too strong, not too weak, decent stability. And so this is gonna make it a freaking laser beam. That's exciting. I like that. So the question does come. Carbine, thank you, Grumpy. Yeah, the carbine. So the G36, if you like the carbine, you're gonna like the G36. That's right, Proto, thank you. So let me ask you guys this question. Like, why would you run stabilize over steady-handed? So steady-handed gives you accuracy and stability up to 100. And you get a free reload. I get it. Okay, the reason why is because you can maintain it. So reach 75% reload, get back to shooting, and you still got your 75%. Where steady-handed, you get the free reload, but then you start from 0 and you work your way back up. Okay, so that's cool. That's really good, guys. That's really good. Yeah. It doesn't decay, it doesn't reset unless you let it time out. So, I mean, I would like to see this at 10 seconds. But it's cool. Okay, tip of spear. So this is what's funny. We were just talking about this because on my last stream or Saturday night stream, we did we were going through the gear set backpacks and this leaked over. We were just saying, I was like, I wonder if they're reworking tip of spear. And here it is. They were reworking tip of spear and it leaked over. So that's why it's all, some of this wording we already have on the gear right now. So we're going to talk about it. So it's good that they're reworking some of the stuff. I'm just not sure how I feel about this one. So tip of spear, 2 pieces equipped gives 20% signature weapon damage. Pretty much the same. I might have it on me. Let me double check. Give me a quick second. Let me pull this out of my bag, my stash. Yeah, okay. It's 10%, so they buffed it. Wow. They doubled it. They doubled that. Wow. 10 to 20. Thanks, Pure. You got it. Yeah, so they doubled that. And then 3 pieces is the same. 10% weapon damage. Yeah, this is nice. Okay. 4 pieces equipped unlocks aggressive recon talent. That's as you would expect. So getting the signature weapon kill plus 15% signature weapon damage for 5 seconds. Okay. So the change to this really, now it used to be 20%, I think. But the change to this is the word kill. So before you didn't have to kill an enemy, you only had to damage them. So this is kind of crap, but because it's only for 5 seconds. And then 25% reload speed, which makes that more useful, that 5 seconds. So if you like, you know, if you need to reload, you don't lose that buff. So for the next reload of the weapon. So it stockpiles that. So, so once you get that kill, it's gonna save that until you need to reload. So that's cool. The bonus do not stack, so cool. So you earn it once, and then once you get to that reload, you'll be able to use it. Automatically regenerate signature weapon ammo every 60 seconds. That's the same. Previously, dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20%. Okay, so it's just signature weapon damage for 5 seconds instead of everything. So signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20%. Yeah, that sucks. So basically what's going on here is they're trying to make this a full-time special weapon bonus here. That sucks. So because dealing damage with this signature weapon increases total weapon damage. So basically what we would do is get damage with our TAC 50 and then switch over to our sniper, get another kill with whatever, your White Death, and then, you know, you didn't have to worry about aggressive recon anymore until you duffed a shot, lost your bonus, your headhunter bonus. So with this one, swapping weapons isn't going to give you a 4-piece talent bonus anymore. Swapping weapons would do nothing for you. Sort of. So basically with this, if you're a sniper, what this means, like using your TAC 50, which is the best application for aggressive recon in my opinion so far, but maybe with the changes that will change. But what you're gonna want to do is actually get a kill with your sniper and then get another kill with your TAC 50. So get 2 kills with your TAC 50 and then switch to your White Death. And then you're gonna get this 15% signature weapon damage on included in your headhunter stack when you swap over to your White Death or whatever your other sniper is. As long as headhunter's active, then this damage application will transfer with your weapon swap. But without headhunter, that's useless for you. Without headhunter, there's no reason for you to run aggressive recon. So we'll still be able to make this work for our rifle builds and White Death builds, it looks like. Okay. So let's look at these changes, as I understand it, are to coincide with the talents. So there's a reason why they made that change, and it's going to appear down here. So the chest bonus is called Specialized Destruction. 50% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So they're giving you a reason to run the chest piece. Holy crap, guys. The only downside is you have to fully deplete the signature weapon ammo. We talked about this the other day. I think that's crap. And then it doubles the ammo regenerated by aggressive recon. So that used to be the backpack talent. But that's great damage. And so this isn't going to be good for the sniper. This would be good for like the grenade launcher, or probably the fire, as well as the minigun. But for the sniper, you're not going to want to run the chest piece, and we wouldn't anyways. We got headhunter. So the backpack is an important one. So increased aggressive recon signature weapon damage bonus from 15 to 30%. Holy shit, that is huge. And every third signature weapon kill generates signature weapon ammo. How much though? I'm guessing 1 round of TAC 50. So that plus the time, there's a possibility here that the TAC 50 can, with the backpack, can maintain as a primary weapon. I don't know for sure, but there's a possibility, because that 30% weapon damage bonus is a really good, cool thing. I'd probably run the backpack anyways. You know, it's a play from cover type setup, but that 30% would allow you to roll a lot more armor or skill tiers or whatever you want to do to your sniper build, because that 30% is going to transfer inside Headhunter. That's the reason why it's exciting, okay? Because switching weapons isn't going to get the benefit of that unless you're running Headhunter, because Headhunter picks up on that, right? It's going to take that it's going to take that kill with the 30% damage from aggressive recon signature moves. It's going to take that damage and it's going to multiply it by 1,250% as long as you have 150% headshot damage on your build. So this is pretty cool for snipers. For everything else, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's really easy. There's no conditions to this, and that makes it a good backpack. It's a strong damage. The only condition is a kill. Every third kill gives you more ammo, but it's more of something that's already happening. So yeah, that's cool. We'll see. So there's some good and bad there, right? Some good and bad there. Quality of life changes. Exotic caches are now available for purchase at DZ vendors in any of the 3 locations. So, reduce stinger hives range by 30% in PvP. Reduce stinger hives range. That's good. That's great. Congratulations, PvP players. That's a big deal. You know how popular stinger hives are in that game mode? Holy crap. And so this is that's a big decrease. So that's huge. But how do we feel about this? So Morton, I believe, put out a tweet saying that this isn't going to include the raid exclusives. And I'm not sure if he meant the Bighorn or the Eagle Bearer, but I think that's what he meant. So why would you spend DZ resources on exotic caches? And the only thing I could think of is you got so many DZ resources because you play PvP so much, you have nothing else to spend it on. That's the only thing I could think of. But if these caches gave you a chance to get the Eagle Bearer or the Bighorn, then that'd be something. That would be something. That would be a reason for you to go into PvP more and get credits. So, So known issues. Yeah, nothing that's really interesting here. So that's the end of the patch notes. Wow. Wow. I'm not really going to go through these other known issues right now, and it's too much to talk about. I haven't reviewed them myself. But wow. Good and bad, but I think I got to say there's a lot to look forward to. I think there's a lot to look forward to in next season. We're going to have some fun new things to play with. I think we're going to have some really cool team support builds. We're going to have some really cool potential solo builds to toy around with. Some good I see good legendary setups with what they've given us. And then the incursion, right? The incursion. So I think all of that is going to make a busy season. I think the season's going to fly by in no time. We'll see. We don't have a launch date, right? We still don't have a launch date. But so yeah, so the PTS will start on the was it the 9th through the 11th, so kind of a short run too, but crazy. So one of the things I wanted to work on that, so we're gonna kind of change gears, but we can still talk about the notes. But I gotta say, I'm kind of excited about everything, to get my hands on everything. I think the SMG sounds pretty cool, and so does the LMG, so does the exotic chest piece. But you know, I hope that they consider adding damage to those weapons, because that's kind of my one complaint. It kind of reminds me of the blue screen. You know, because I kind of find myself in that position with the blue screen where it's like, yeah, it's nice that it's doing status effects, but I guess I'd just be happier with the regular LMG that's doing some sort of damage. You know what I mean? So because that 5-second status effect is just not a game changer. So is 5 seconds of an enemy caught on fire a game changer for us here? You know, with that chest piece. I'm not sorry, not the chest piece, but with the LMG. You know, would we rather have just a damage talent there? And so I don't want to be caught in that same predicament, you know? Yeah. I'm definitely gonna whip out that flame turret too. I'm excited to use a flame turret. I don't use it very much. So I'm looking for, see if Rigger's on the map. It looks like it's in the dark zone. That's okay, I'll work with what I got. So we were playing with Rigger the other day and I saw an opportunity for a pretty good build. And so I'm gonna try, and it's just crazy because I haven't used Rigger since they introduced it. So it's kind of cool to be working on a Rigger build. And it's not gonna be what you'd imagine. A lot of people use it with the turret and the drone, but I see an opportunity to go infinite decoys, and we talk about how strong the decoys are in this game. And then infinite fixer too, and which makes it perfect for a sniper. Or I could also use the scanner. I wouldn't need to, that thing's got such a long duration, but the fixer. We also talked about shock traps or explosion traps so you could protect your zone. You could even use the turret if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna use the fixer. And then, so what I'm running here is a 2-piece Brazos, right? So I can get the skill haste and skill tier, but for the skill tier so that I can drive a little bit of, what do you call it, threat into this thing and a little bit of duration or whatever. So it's not gonna be a ton. We could also run sharpshooter or technician up here and get another skill tier. But I don't want to do too many skill tiers because the biggest benefit I'm seeing here is really the fact that I don't have to run skill tiers and I'm gonna have an infinite decoy like what the Mantis could do. But now I'm gonna be able to run determined. And so that I've always said, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have the Mantis with determined? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Get a Mantis with determined. And so we can start with that, and then I'll use for a special. Let's see, I'll just run the, I guess the Nemesis as a backup. Let's bring a couple extra weapons along. There we go. And then these are already, I could add a skill tier there, but I'm gonna, I guess, put red cores everywhere. So I don't have a perfect build yet because I'm still farming this out. So these pieces, like that has weapon handling, which isn't bad. I don't mind weapon handling, but I want a perfect build for me would have headshot damage there. This one's got skill damage on it, so I still need a better knee. And the stupid crafting station was holding out the other day. But you could craft a set, which is very convenient. I mean, repair skills is better. I don't mind repair skills because they're gonna run the fixer. He kept giving me crits. I got a lot of crits on this thing. But yeah, so you gotta run the Rigger backpack because that's what gives you the capability. Another weapon handling. I'll use that one. Fast reloads are nice. Okay, so backpack. We'll swap that to a red core. And then I'll put another red core. Gloves. No, I'll do blue. We'll do an even split here. I think that should be 3-3, right? Yeah. Okay, and then I'll load up some protection from elites because we don't have bonus armor, and I want to move. Keep that one. Toss, toss, toss. You could also run a skill damage version of this. So hold it down, right? Snipe, and run skill tiers. So you could also do that. Because the White Death is pretty damn strong, right? So if we were to look, we're still at 194 without a scope. So if you're gonna hold it down in a single zone, you could put your 45% more headshot damage on there. But 195 is plenty to get our one-shot kill capabilities. And I'm about to push it a little bit higher with Sharpshooter here. But we could also run Technician, but I want the handling from Sharpshooter. That's why I'm running it. Did I turn it on or not? Yeah. So I want the breathe control. There we go. And it also gives us some duration for our drone. So let's go and put that on so we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, this should be cool. This should be different. This should be fun. Let's see if we can get it to work. So there's a game mode on right now. I forgot. So which one is this one? SHD exposed. Let's see what it does. I forget what this one is. Details. Our enemies have created a way to isolate division signals and have them and turn them against us. When seen by enemies, agents gain exposure, increasing the damage they take from all attacks. Yeah. And the rate of this exposure gain increases as an agent moves. How our agents may turn the tables. You know, which is kind of weird because this is what's weird about this event. It's sort of like the objective is to actually get exposed so you can get the damage, which is kind of stupid, right? It should be like, you should be powered up by not getting exposed. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you're out there trying to get exposed. And it's just like, you know, I'll keep it off for now. But I'll run it a little bit this week. So on another note, as we're doing this, guys, just to get you an update on what I've been doing in the background, and I'm sure you all know that I've been kicking in on the Starfield dealio here, and boy, oh boy, what a good game. Holy crap. It's so good. They did a good job. They did a good job. It's not hype. That is a good game. And so I don't know how many hours I have on it. 15, 20, I don't know. But the only mistake, there's a couple of mistakes. I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek, but is that the main mistake is the way that they kick off the game. They kick it off in the most boring way possible. And like for the first couple of hours, you're kind of like, I'm kind of bored, and it is kind of boring in the first couple of hours. But it really opens up, man. That game just like, wow, it's a game that you can play for years. Years. There's so much to it. It's amazing. It's an amazing game. And then the other mistake is the inventory manager. Just the inventory in the menus, you know, just kind of suck. But, you know, apparently mods will help with that. And you will be able to use the mods on Xbox as well. At some point, I don't know when, if not right away. All right, so we had the damage to do it right away. And that was with the Nemesis. So if you don't know how this works, so basically, see my decoys out there. Oh, do I got the wrong talent? No, I saw kinetic momentum just show up. Oh. So I can blow up my turret, my decoy, and I get it right back. That's better than the Mantis. Because the Mantis, hey dude. Well, I like how you're backing him right into my fucking zone. Oh, I lost my buff now, hold on. Because the Mantis requires you to get a kill, so this is even easier. Really? Hold on, let me get this guy out of me.
I'm gonna need a medic over here.
I don't know why I'm having a hard start. Come on, really? Why am I missing everything? It's so annoying. There we go.
Reinforcement complete.
Oh my god. I need to get warmed up. Look at that, proficiency leveled up. Give me a fucking shot. I gotta get out of here. This area sucks. So yeah, I crushed my decoy. And so I really like it. And so I don't like too much duration on my decoy because I find that, you know, I'm always kind of moving zones and so then I kind of waste that duration because I'm looking to crush it and move on. Can't get a headshot for the life of me, though. There we go.
Can't let them get away. Must be here somewhere. Come on, let's do this.
God, I keep missing heads. Should probably put on the scope. There we go. There we go. Now we're ready. So I can crush this guy again and then refresh him. Need more special ammo. There we go. Let's get the good stuff. So you can do it to your drone too. So crush it, get it right back. Except mine's having a hard time crushing because my bumpers are broken. Sorry. I tried cleaning them too. I took apart my whole controller, used the isopropyl alcohol and everything. Put on a scope. I'm missing too many shots. I need my crosshairs. There we go.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Coming from behind cover.
Oh, double turrets. Jesus, guys. Take it easy.
I got you
Bringing in new recruits. I don't know how that's missing him. I might be able to use a little bit more duration. Just because I'm so slow at breaking it could help that department. I don't know why they make things so slow in this game. Like, it's like to pick somebody up and they go down, so frustrating. Even with the reviver hive, it's slow. Wow, that guy just bailed, man. Look how fast he ran out that door. Come on, give me that head.
Can't see him. This bastard shot to hell.
Oh, freaking rogues.
Rogue agent detected. Rogue defender drone detected. Hostile defender drone detected.
Really?
Rogue explosive trap detected. Hostile explosive trap detected.
Wow.
Get the hell away from there.
Some serious traps, huh? Decoy saved my life.
I got you now. Shit. Up again? That's fine.
Oh my god, hold still.
Drone deployed.
Oh, it didn't launch. Immune. Oh, can't fight these guys when they're immune. It's a waste of bullets.
Hiding! Over that side!
Shit. Be smart now. Can't shoot. Gotta fix this armor.
Jesus Christ. These guys are wiggly today. Actually, it's probably because I've been playing Starfield for the last few days. My thumbs are out of timing.
That's perfect.
Rogue agent eliminated. Supply room access unlocked.
Yeah, I might need to buy new replacement parts, but I got to think about it because you know how it is. It's just like, fuck, you go through all these loops and then in the end it still doesn't work and it starts to technology feels so disposable nowadays, you know? I mean, I took it apart. It's just this little white button. You know, there's little white buttons that get the pressure applied. It's like cleaned them. I don't know. I wonder how many hours I actually have on this thing. Probably more than I realize. But I feel like it should still have like another year or two life in it. Okay, so I feel like it needs a little something. Maybe like that White Death should be hitting harder. Maybe I take off the skill tiers and add duration. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure I need the skill tiers. I think I could just be okay with duration. So let's see. Well, how would I do that? Maybe like that'd be a good one. Habsburg, because it's got headshot and repair skills there. It's red. And then I could run any of the pieces would work here. I could stick with Habsburg or go to Chain Killer or Providence. Not that one though. Let's just go Chain Killer. Keep it simple. And then here, no, on here, what we're gonna do is add one duration mod if I have one. There we go. The reason why is just because I'm a little slow at reacting. So, but if I'm not moving a lot, if I keep an eye on it, but sometimes I start becoming a little independent of my decoy because I've moved away from it. And then I looked down and I was like, oh, it just went on cooldown. So you kind of want to beat it to cooldown, or you're not getting use of your talent. And if you're not getting use of your talent, then don't run this gear set, right? Yeah, and the skill haste and skill duration off the gear set are helpful. They are. A little bit of skill haste is good in case you do miss that. And we could run, if I decide to stay from cover, this would actually be a good future perfect build. Because it also comes with this, the named version, which isn't the worst. I don't know why. I have so much handling, I'm missing so much. Then crush it. Get it back. Barely though, right? I barely made that timer. So I might need a little bit more duration. So I can put on more duration by running the Murakami's knee pads and get the regen too, which wouldn't be bad at all. So if I kept this stationary, this would be a pretty good future build, I think.
Reinforcements incoming.
See right there, I missed it again. And I was anticipating it, but it took me too long to kill that guy. So it's just kind of working out that timing. But if I get future along with it, then we're also buffing its duration and threat at the same time. And if you're holding still, then that's pretty cool. And it might be the best way to go because that's the one thing skill tiers don't do for your decoy is add haste, and this eliminates haste. So running future would be actually pretty smart because you get the threat, you get the duration, but it doesn't cover haste, and so the gear set will fill in the gaps there. See, I missed it again right there.
Hostile detected.
So okay, let me kill a couple guys here. Go fix that. Make an iteration. So
That's right, farmer. That cover won't save you.
I barely caught it there too. I mean, I think they need to fix that. Little stuff like that, it just takes so long. I mean, you don't want to accidentally crush your skill when you're not looking to, but Jesus Christ. Time's out. Okay. Let's just head this way to this guy. I've actually been excited about this build because I really like the decoy. And for sniper builds, I mean, I think for standard DPS builds like assault rifles and whatever, you can miss out on too much damage to be interested in doing this with an assault rifle, really. I mean, you can do it for fun, but you know, you're gonna not want to lose all that damage. But with snipers, it's so easy to get your damage because the weapons are so high powered. And you just need to put out one bullet and kill the enemy, so you're good. So there's really you're not losing anything. So I mean, I'm just getting a different utility, where you can do it with the Mantis. I do have a build for that where, you know, you throw your decoy, but you can't switch weapons with the Mantis. So if you use the Mantis, throw out your decoy, get a kill, and then you switch to your White Death, you lose your backup decoy. And so it's a waste. It's a waste. So it sort of works with the Mantis, but you know, you're making it extra work for yourself because you have to end up getting a kill when you switch back to the Mantis. It's not the end of the world, but this is much more convenient. Anyways, but the alternative build would be a 4-piece hotshot, which does give you that actually, let's do it to this one. So I have both options. Which gives you like a free reload if you can maintain. And it also gives you some bonus armor and armor on kill, which is nice. So yeah. Which one is gonna work for you? It's just an option, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And a damn good one, because we like. So what I want to do is, because we like decoys, they're so powerful in this game. So what I'm gonna do is put on a rigger holster, which kind of sucks because I got a shitty one, but let me see if I can craft a better one. Because with the rigger holster, I can put on the Murakami knee pads and give myself another 20%. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Let's get my Murakamis. So I had the handling one there. I'll take that one. Oh, it's a crit chance one. Do I not have any on my build? My character, my regen, headshot, there we go. And then let's see if I can craft something decent here. This is all backwards. Sorry. Appreciate you, Skeletor. How are you doing, bro? Thunderlogger. Thunder. There we go. I'll take weapon handling, I guess. I'll perfect a build later, you know, just see if I can give myself to a happy place with that weapon, that duration. So I might be able to take the duration off. Okay, so the duration, because now I'm going to be running future, which is going to give us more duration, skill tiers and all that. And if that's the case, I mean, we don't need it to go into overcharge or anything ridiculous. We just need it to have enough duration for me to break or whatever. But we're also going to be increasing its threat. So we'll get up to 3 skill tiers this way. And so that'll give us 45% more duration. It's like 2 mods. And then 45% threat and health. Health is not too much of a concern for us. So, yeah. So no overcharge because we don't have the skill tiers to do it. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think the launch date is probably going to be the beginning of October. How many more weeks of... Because we still got Golden Bullet, and that's going to run for 2 weeks. And this one's running for 2 weeks. So we're 4 weeks out, right? Yeah. Where am I? Wrong one. Sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention right there. Oh shit, there's another one. Maybe I don't want... Maybe I don't want that talent. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot there with the patch notes. I'm genuinely enthused. But, you know, I get excited about gear, and that's basically what they showcased us for the most part. It's not perfect, but it's workable and creates an opportunity for some pretty cool and exciting builds. Let's do better than that last time. So there's a pro and a con, because you can increase your threat and duration, but at the same time, determined increases your time to kill so much that you kind of get into benefit of freeing up your hands that way too. Where'd she go? What? How'd you get back there? So right here I crush it, and then I go.
Check your weapons.
That wasn't a headshot. Screw you guys. I don't, main. I have fun with other builds too, but I've always been a sniper. Like even with in Starfield, I'm creating a stealth sniper. It's really fun.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Guess I'm addicted to the head crunch. No, in Battlefield, I was a sniper. Call of Duty, I'm a sniper. I just gravitate to snipers. I guess I feel like snipers, I feel like they're kind of a little bit more technical. I mean, not like a skill build technical, but you know, the way you play and your performance, and where I feel like a lot of people like assault rifles because of how adaptable the assault rifle is, sort of ease of play, which I like that for that too. You know, it's point and shoot and just hit anywhere on the body. And of course, it doesn't mean we don't try to go for headshots or whatever, but or weak points. I don't know how that didn't land right there. That was a kill shot.
I'm reloading. Cover me.
What do you guys think about them making special weapons less effective against named enemies? Why? I mean, they're not that strong. I mean, many of our special weapons are weak. Really weak. Many of them can't even kill an elite. And then they nerf it against named enemies? Why? The thinking behind that. Yeah, they're not gonna bring in the new slot until the new gear changes come, which is part of the whole season 4 finale. So yeah, after Christmas, probably around April. Normally it's April. It might even be May now because of the way they change the calendar. And my sniping game is off. Let me check my settings real quick. Make sure I didn't do anything crazy here. Controls. Emphasis on. It should be the same. Just rusty, I guess.
Detected. Nearby location.
You take 3 days off, and that's what happens. Your game goes to shit.
Hostile contacts.
It's not taking time off. It's more of, you know, adjusting to another game. I think, right? Okay, let me try the other one again. I want to test the benefit of one over the other here. Like, this guy should be dead already. See, that was a hand shot right there. I'm missing a lot of my shots. Oh my god, his hand again? Oh. fucking painful. That's painful. And now this guy's down.
That was him, Kevin. Someone hit that bastard.
We're gonna take them by surprise.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
You can refresh it as many times as you want, huh? That's cool. I think I like it better with determined. Refresh it. Just get ahead of it a little bit. So right there is probably my only complaint. Like if I'm gonna be playing from cover and running a cover build, then I want that to be a one-shot kill on the boss. Normally I'm not concerned about it. I don't mind taking 2 shots, but if I'm playing from cover, I might as well make that a one-shot.
Zero access unlocked. Hostiles guarding location nearby.
You know, I actually had fun using the commando the other day. It's actually a pretty decent weapon. You know, once you get the stability under control, that is, because it's an SVD. But it's surprising how active that talent is. You know, because it works on tech. So you can activate the talent on tech just by shooting tech. So you can use their turrets against them to activate naked, perfectly naked.
I've heard what you've been doing.
And then it works on elites too. Once you break their armor with an SVD is really easy to do. A couple of shots. So you're mostly have it active than not active. Even in heroic content where you're running against nothing but elites. Mostly elites. It's pretty interesting. It's actually, and I've been sleeping on that one for years. Shit. Deadeye, yeah. I mean, a hot shot's a good idea because you got to manage your ammo with SVDs too. Okay, so what do we got here? So I'm wondering if so I need to get the damage up a little bit more. So I could take off this protection from elite. Well, you know what I'm really missing is a bunch of headshot damage, right? So we got handling there, headshot damage there. If I'm playing from cover and more weapon handling there, yeah, I'm missing a lot of headshot damage. So I could take off this protection from elites because we don't need it. We're playing from cover. And then I could probably add a red core back on in the meantime while I'm waiting. I like this duration mod. I think we keep that. I could run two pieces of a Picara's holster too. That wouldn't be bad. Like that, actually. Do that and then make that one skill tier. Oh, I can't really do that, huh? Because then I lose the direct I mean, I'd rather have just flat duration than have to run 2 pieces for a skill tier. That sucks. Because if we look here, skill tier is 15% duration. I mean, you get threat and all that other, but I mean, I like this because you get that weapon damage along with it. But so you get that there too. So I guess we're gonna be stuck with this. It's the problem with gear sets, right? Like limited. What up, Fog? Welcome in, man.
Friendly control point nearby.
No, you can't. I know, Aaron. I wish. That's really good thinking, because that's exactly what I would love to do with this build, is run the ninja bike. It's exactly what it would solve all my problems. The problem is that I'm running 4 pieces of rigger just to run the rigger backpack. It's without the backpack, you lose everything. So you canceling your skill will reset their cooldowns. That's what sucks. I'm stuck with that slot. So I just need, there's nothing wrong with the build. I just need to, I just want to one-shot that boss. So I need a couple thousand or a couple million more in damage. And it's mostly I have shitty pieces, because right there, 20% headshot damage would probably do it. So for now, what I'm gonna do is take off an armor core or 2. I mean, I don't really need armor cores if I'm playing from cover, but 1 is okay. I don't mind armor cores, but I don't really need them because I don't have a bunch of regen or a bunch of armor on kill or anything like that. That should probably do the trick. Because see, what's also cool is that, and I think we tested this, this would also work for the Regulus or any headshot build. The D50 with Determined. The downside is that if you're gonna be playing out of cover, you need some sort of resistance. I mean, a lot of people run cowboy builds with the Bulwark shield. Which doesn't work for the gear set buffs. I mean, you get the skill haste duration, I guess, the skill haste, but none of the other buffs work with the shield. That's not a problem, but you got to have something to add your survivability with those builds. You do to end up taking a lot of damage in the back. You can just play fast and play from cover too with a pistol and just play that way, but that's also a really cool way to go. Like, we can run the Regulus. We'll demonstrate that. I think I got duration on the mod, on the mask. Yeah. Yeah, because I need a little bit of duration just because holding down that button, you know, to destroy something apparently takes 10 seconds. You guys notice that? So, like, look how long it takes. Hold on. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. 3, 1,000, 3 seconds. And your duration is 20, or is... What is the duration on this thing? 20, 30 seconds? I gotta look. Yeah, I know you're back there, buddy. 26. So, like, yeah, you lose 3 seconds right there. That guy's adamant, huh? All right. Jesus Christ. Oof.
Light him up! I got him!
So I like how we were playing last time. You just cut it, just constantly refresh it. How did? Oh yeah, I use it on the dog. I'm like, how did that not work?
System reactivated. Detected. In location guarded by hostiles.
Why? Why are you not a headshot?
Deploying boom!
Oh, do you see how he slid like that? It's like he knew. Oh my god, I'm having a hell of a time today. There we go. Damn, apparently the whole squad is coming.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Worst angles ever. So we got to test this against Hardwired because Hardwired has the same function. It's just that you're going to want to use a different skill. Hardwired might be easier, right? Because if you miss, there's no timer on it. But the question is, would it be adequate for the decoy?
Detected. In location guarded by hostiles.
Without rolling in a bunch of skill haste and shit. Yeah, but I want to try that.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Because with, yeah, there's no... The downside is with... It sort of depends on how you play, because the downside is with Hardwired... Well, either way, I guess you can crush it if you need to. I was gonna say that you gotta wait for it to expire. You don't really. Just adds another step. Why is that a... Oh man, did they nerf TAC 50? I mean, what is the deal? Why did that not kill a purple guy? I know I'm missing some headshot damage, but not that much.
Guarding location nearby. Reinforcements incoming.
What? Something went haywire there. I killed the purple guy with the headshot. I tried to apply it to this dude. Let me take off the Regulus. Yeah, so I'll run a replay in the morning, guys, of tonight's run through of the PTS patch notes, so you can I'll condense it so it's nice and streamlined. But it's pretty, I think it's pretty exciting if missed that part of the stream. I mean, there's nothing in there about the incursion, so we're waiting to hear back on that or see that, I guess. But we're not going to see that until launch. So, as far as I know. So right now we're just talking about exotics and gear sets and brand sets. Some a little bit funky. It's definitely not perfect. It's not like Hunter's Fury or anything like that, but interesting. I mean, if it's better than Cavalier, then we're on to something, right? Such a low bar. I like that you can refresh and not use it all right away too. You don't always need your decoy.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Can't get a shot off.
Okay, let's see if we got enough damage here. Yeah, we're still short 60 million, so I need about 1.5 million. I mean, he's almost dead, but I want to get that guy in one shot. I would like the incursion to take place in the college, wouldn't you? I mean, or Pentagon area.
Supply room access.
Pentagon could be cool, right? Pentagon kind of feels like a raid. The downside is there's always glitches over there. So, you know. I mean, I wouldn't even mind a repurpose of... I mean, I don't like to say the word repurpose, but Iron Horse is a really cool layout. I mean, I think the airport's a little bit boring, dark hours, but Iron Horse is a cool layout. It's visually nice. And so it'd be fun for people that can't raid because they have a hard time finding groups, pre-configured groups that they can just, you know, match make and jump in an incursion in the same map. Did you guys see that Warframe is playing in the Division 2 New York? By the way. But that's like a good example of just like repurposing maps. What if it rotated? You know, wouldn't that be neat? Well, that's nice.
Civilians in distress.
What if it was just like, kill all the enemies? That was the point of the incursion. What if it's just that, right? Kill all the enemies. No real major,
Location guarded by hostiles.
what do you call it? Tasks, you know? No major tasks. It's just go through, survive, kill all the enemies, keep it battle focused. Because that's, I mean, don't they all do that, right? I mean, like if you look at Countdown, Descent, kind of not, kind of not. I mean, I think I like the Descent idea better. You know, and the idea of, I'm not talking about the gear or all of that crap. I'm talking about like, it's just fight. There's just fights. Fight and survive. Fight and survive. That's it. Fight, 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 fight. And of course, there's the other stuff that slows you down, but that aside, take that out of it. Like versus like the Summit where you gotta go to some computer, avoid the EMP pulls. You know, those things suck. You know?
Hostile control point detected.
They're more annoying than anything, you know? The way they did the hazards in the Descent is they got it right, man. Those are the best hazards in the game. Two-way hazards. I mean, how many times do the hazards in the Descent game mode save you, protect you, you know? A lot. So I mean, I would like that mentality. So I think with this thing, like, because you can just, if you have pauses, you just refresh. Just might as well do it then. You know what I mean? At every opportunity, really. I think that's the strategy here. And sometimes you'll lose it. It's not perfect, but so like I'll do it again here. Changed all the directions. You see that? They were all coming for me. I mean, you just take no damage if you do that timely.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
So I'll redo it right now. I mean, if we could figure out how to get more duration in here, then it'd be more convenient. Because this is working nicely. I mean, we're taking no damage.
Detected hostile supply convoy. Heavily armed. Reinforcements in place.
Oh, I missed it. Trying to get that pack. There it is. So now let me reset here. Somebody's coming from behind.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Yeah, the duration mods, I'm just kind of not super satisfied with my damage right now. I need better pieces ultimately. I'm missing a lot of damage on my gear. It's all crappy rolls. I know I'm one-shotting everything. You're like, what are you talking about? But this is in my opinion, if I'm going to be playing from cover, then I need to be hitting at least 18 million with full stacks. And right now I'm hitting about 16.5 when I got it rolling. 16.543 right there. And that's because so I can one-shot the boss, get him over with. I know it's a small detail, but for me, that would make it a perfect build. For the concept. And also, I think 18 million opens it up for group play too. Oh, come on, dude. It's amazing how important determined is in this game, I swear. The way I see bullets just going through enemies.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I mean, if you got one-shot kill power, the reality is that unlimited decoy is a sniper's dream. And that's why the Mantis is so good, right? Because it completely changes their behavior. Like, if you've ever been frustrated with sniping,
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
it is a completely different world doing it with a decoy and without versus without. See, I missed it right there. Too much concentrating. This enemy, he won't stand still, first of all. I mean, circus clowns. But that's what we mean, right? By sniping being a pain in the ass in this game. Just the NPCs act weird. Believe it or not, though, we do have good NPCs in this game. And they did a damn good job. Because even in Starfield, I like the NPCs better in the Division 2. They got some cool enemies and stuff like that. Not that part, not the character design, but just the AI, how intelligent these guys are. Or the appearance of intelligence, I should say. These are pretty dumb. Let's see, I don't have the range there? Must not. Also, graphically, too, like, I think they did a pretty good job on graphic representation of the enemies here. Like, with Starfield, they feel very NPC, you know? They feel like NPCs. They act like NPCs. I mean, so do our NPCs, don't get me wrong. But there's so much more character in our NPCs, it's funny, you know? How they do things like they go, yay! You know, these little... Well, they also cuss a lot more too, you know. That's part of the excitement, isn't it? See, I threw out my decoy and she stops running, right? This makes life easier, trust me. Till you get down to that one jerk. Oh, that was a miss. See that? It takes so long to crush. I missed it again. Yeah, like one more duration mod will help with that. I mean, it's anticipation. It doesn't happen that often, but I missed it a couple of times. Usually, it's actually always tends to be this gunner guy, as a matter of fact. Every time I'm up against him.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
I'm gonna throw 3 of them at us here. Look at him.
Heavily armed. Hostile supply convoy nearby.
Somebody up there. Really? Fuck. I mean, he runs faster than I can shoot. Oh, God. And then I time out. Oh, another batch? All right. Take it easy, game.
Detected. The control point in proximity.
Oh, another one. Come on. Nice little Overlord. Overlord always comes good, nicely rolled, doesn't it? It's the easiest thing to farm in a game, you know that? Nander! Sasuke, what's up? Yeah, we stream, Suzuki. Yeah, I stream pretty regularly. It's kind of a slow time in the season right now because we're in between. We're like at the tail end of one season and opening up, getting ready for a new season. So, which is in about 4 weeks. Yeah, so for the next 4 weeks, it's an interesting time, but. Are you playing, Suzuki? Sasuke. So, okay. So how do we find 1.5 million more damage? So I'd have to lose this armor core. And that alone isn't going to do it. See, I need to get those headshot damage rolls. That'll get us a lot closer. So we're missing 30% headshot damage. So the test is obviously take off the duration, right? But I'm not willing to lose that. I think the duration's pretty short as it is. So the way it ends up working with the build, when you have an objective like that, you either meet the objective or you don't. And I know that sounds obvious, but my point is, I go out there and I put on 30% more headshot damage because that's basically the next move, right? Is take off the armor and then put on 30% more headshot damage. The other thing to do, actually, is just to go out and get a regular Murakami knee pad or chest piece, actually. That could be the other thing to do. Because I don't really need the armor regen. I mean, it's nice, but we're running a fixer and we're playing from cover, so that 1% regen isn't that helpful. So I could just run a regular Murakami here, which I don't have. Or I could run a Murakami chest piece. That's probably better, is to run a Murakami chest piece and then run Fox's Prayers and get a multiplier in there. That would probably really help too. Or Contractors. And then you got Punch Drunk if you're looking for just 20% more headshot damage, but I think in our case, I could go 2 pieces of Walker, but Murakami and Contractor is probably the best combo. And the reason why is because I still pick off a lot of people while they're in cover with snipers, because you gotta get a good little angle on them, play from high ground. Anyways, so let's just say I modify the build, right? And let's just say, like, right now I'm 2-shotting bosses. They're almost dead. They're down to their health bar, basically. But it still takes a second bullet. That's how snipers work, right? It's either 1 bullet, 2 bullet, you know, the whole bullets. So after I put on all that headshot damage, if I like really close, then it's close as no cigar, right? It's not like DPS builds or look at that, interesting. It's not like an assault rifle build where it's just like you're putting on more damage and your time to kill is improved. It's not like that here because it's either you go by bullets because it's time, not by time. So it's 1 bullet or 2 bullets, and then when it comes to time, it's your time to acquisition, which means misses, really. The decoy helps there. So if I don't In other words, so if I load up on a bunch more damage, but it still takes 2 shots, then that's sort of good news in a way, because then it kind of relieves you of that burden, and you decide to start rolling in more utility. You're like, cool, okay, so I don't need more damage because no matter what I do, I'm gonna be 2-shotting a boss. Fine. So then instead of weapon handling, I can go in and roll more duration, right? And I can get 60% more duration on the build without running a skill tier. So, or I could decide to just do that anyways, you know? I still don't have the pieces for that, but I could decide to do that anyways and just scrap trying to kill the boss in 1 shot. But I mean, 16 million in damage is pretty useful. You clear a lot of content, but I need that duration up a little bit too. I think at least another 20%, but I'm pretty sure duration works like skill haste, where it doesn't stack very nice. You start getting a lot of diminished returns. Status effects is like that too. The impact of the rolls. That's why, like, I usually run the memento and it's 30% skill efficiency, which isn't as good as straight up skill duration. I've noticed that, but it stacks worse on the memento than it does if you went straight up with duration mods. But you get all those other benefits anyways, right? And so I noticed, like, when I run the Mantis with the memento and then the Murakamis, I feel like I have all the duration I need. Totally, Grumps. Like, if we didn't have to run the bag, problem solved, right? Throw on the memento, good to go. You'd be getting your bonus armor. Oh, by the way, I have another build dropping in the morning. It's a countdown build. And even for those that don't need a countdown build because you really have been around for a while, then you're going to want to see this build too, because it's actually a shocker punch build. And what I realized is that the shocker punch is really good for countdown because there's so much shock in there. There's a whole, remember, there's that whole, the electrical plant or whatever it's that room is called is shock. And with the shocker punch, it gives you 50% reduction in status effects from shock, and then you got 10% hazard protection on the same piece, so you're already at 60, and then your watch pushes you to 70. So that's pretty cool, as well as the crowd control feature, which is pretty good on those hunters as well as the bosses, the named bosses and all that. Everybody, really. So it's pretty cool to use a shocker punch and countdown. Yeah, I wish, what was I looking for? A holster, maybe? Was it the holster? I think so. Yeah, so I was thinking, let's see if we can get duration to drop. That's what I'm thinking. So I tried farming this in countdown, and I got nothing but like skill damage and repairs. I was like, of course. And when it did drop red, it was crits. See that? I keep getting crit pieces with this rigor. Skill haste isn't that bad either, in case you miss it. But, all right, I gotta offload some stuff apparently. Not weapons. What's got the most holsters? Probably just save that one. Crush this one. Save that one. Yeah, crush that one. full. It's because I got all my gear sets over here. Gotta move some things back. Trying to rank all those first. We got to finish that stream, so I'll probably do that on tomorrow or Friday. Ranking gear set backpacks. Same thing over and over and over. Does skill duration drop as an attribute? Maybe I'm imagining things. I'm gonna remind myself. I don't think it does it? It's a Mandela effect. Yeah, it doesn't. So what am I talking about? Doesn't make sense. So it's headshot or nothing. So yeah, that's okay. So because what ends up happening is if we play a headshot here, here, and here, and then we take off these headshot mods, and so so we end up gaining 40% duration and 10% headshot damage, which means this has got to go to a red core. The other thing is I could run an improvise. I mean, that's actually more powerful now that I think about it. You know what I should do is get rid of the Murakamis because they only provide 20% duration. The only other way to get duration is from Alp Summit Future, which we're not going to run, or the Chill Out Mask. So if I run the Chill Out Mask, I can run double mods, duration mods, like that. I'll change that to a red core and then run this as that, I guess, for now. And I'll get twice as much duration out of that piece than the Murakami because I don't really need the armor regen. The heals are fine for playing in cover. Oops, damn it. Get down there. Okay, and then I thought I had three. I have more, they're just on my other character. So repair mods, we can always do that too. We decide we need more of that. So you don't need a bunch of duration. It's just a little bit of a balancing act. So I'm not looking to overload on duration. I mean, that's 20, 40, 35 right there. Or 20, 40, 55, sorry. And the reason why I don't want to overload on duration, because you start going too much duration, then you're like, why don't I just run something that gives me a lot of duration, like some sort of skill thing, you know? So the win here is to be able to run hot shot. I'm sorry, not hot shot, but determined. And so you have to get determined to work, to stay working for you. Let me take off that armor core. And the instant it doesn't, then you're back to the Mantis, which is just going to be a all around better way to go. Sort of. I mean, it's not as powerful as a White Death, but it does have more rounds. That's kind of nice. Okay, let's see what we're doing damage-wise. That bothers me. 25 million now. I mean, because we got 2 shots. 17 point something. 17.5, so that's pretty good. Still not the number we need, but it's better. It's giving me hope that when I get that headshot damage on. But not being able to one-shot that elite right out of the gate with... Appreciate your World of Fire. Thanks for the sub and your Prime. Rock. See that? So we're about 1 million off, maybe almost 2 million really, from being able to one shot. And so we got a 2-shot. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I would really like that first shot to be a 1-shot. But the reality is that once you get determined, then you're kind of going. But the thing is that first kill is always the hardest kill because your weapon handling hasn't really been buffed by Headhunter yet, which not everybody knows. Let's see. Yeah, so we need... So that was a non-crit, but we had the buff still. So let me kill the buff. See here, should be about, what, almost 8 million? Yeah, right there. So 7.8 is where we're at. And so we need that to be at 9.8. And there's not very many ways to do that except for to just get better pieces. So, yeah. Off to farming we go, right? Ta-da! Let me just make sure I don't have any in my stash. And, you know, I've been trying to craft it because you can, and you might as well, but it just hasn't been paying out. Cool, but we're on to something here, and that makes me happy. I don't have the mantis with me. I'm wondering, like, what if you ran it with the mantis? Just to think that out real quick. That's kind of interesting, right? Kind of interesting. I don't know if it's worthy. I'm just thinking about it. So like those opportunities where you miss the break, then you switch over and get it's got to be a headshot kill, right? Yeah. Get a headshot kill, refresh that, throw it back out there, then switch over to your White Death. The truth is, though, the reason why that might not be worthy is because by switching over to your Mantis, you lose potentially Determined. But if you didn't have Determined, it makes sense. You know, you're just like, yeah, switch over to the Mantis. But if you have Determined, you're not going to want to switch over to the Mantis. You got Determined. I mean, you barely need the decoy with Determined. You actually could get away without it. You just pop shot real fast, you know. But just to see how hard this thing is hitting with the Mantis, it's probably going to be less. Oh, I hate that. So it's killing him with the 4.6. Let me get this going. Actually, let me take out a weak guy. $15. Yeah, 15 something, so it's less. I mean, it gets the trick done. It does the job on elites, but... So it's not bad damage, don't get me wrong. It's not bad damage. It's great damage. but if I could take out that boss in one shot, then that opens. The reason why I'm doing that, because that opens up for legendary. Makes it really useful. I mean, legendary doesn't have that many elites, so you don't need like mega damage, but $17-18 million is a nice place to be in legendary. So this looks like it's going to stay at about 15.5, give or take. So that's what the Mantis. So 17.8, 15.5. So about 2 million difference between these. So, and that's because, wow, right? Higher base damage, higher headshot damage, and probably a stronger scope. Yeah, a little bit stronger. What are the mods they got here? More mods, but it's crit mods, stability mod, reload speed, larger mag. So there's a lot of other things that are going here, going for this weapon, but some of it's kind of wasted. What up, Eclipse? Anyway, so I was thinking like you could run it as a backup weapon, but the reality is that it's only for the extreme cases when you would actually use it, where you don't have determined and you missed your decoy reset opportunity. But the reality is, I think, you know, I don't mind missing my decoy reset opportunity once or twice. Not a big deal. And so I really got into a roll with it, figuring out that, yeah, just constantly refresh it at every opportunity and in between waves, and you keep that up pretty well. So we don't need too much duration. So I think it's just coming down to those pieces. Oh, really, Eclipse? Yeah, I remember people were using it in there. Nemesis used to be used a lot in there too. People still use them in there, huh? Cool, guys. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for now, and then I'll try to scrape up some more pieces. And so we'll finish this off, and then we'll also keep working on. We have to finish the rest of the backpacks, ranking those backpacks. So we'll get through that. All right, everybody. Look forward to the morning. We got the build video, and then I will repost the walkthrough on the patch notes as well. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll catch you later.